She bad, but you know the deal. She bad, but you know the deal. She bad. Look at you.
Hi everybody, this is Bebé Davis for the Scope Report, where sports and gaming is the exclusive fusion. Welcome to the show, my official channel for the love of sports, Bebé Loves Sports, and hey, I'm Bebé. Alright, so introducing myself in the first video. I hope that you've seen it. If not, then go on and rock over there, and that just gives you like the background about moi. And I just love sports, love it, love it, love it. Various, diverse sports, love it, love it, love it. So I just want to welcome you all to the channel. Thanks for being here. And look, I'm hungry. It's Sunday. You might hear traffic noise. It's such a beautiful day just to be closed in. I wanted some natural light to come in, and voila, here we are. All right, rocking my Packers tee. I'm a Packers fan, but I'm also a sportscaster and a lover of sports first and foremost, whether it's my team or not. If it's a good play, if it's a good call, and you know, if the team play lights out, if it's not my team, I'm good with it because I love sports and I love to see a good play in action. Of course, we always want it to be our team, but sometimes it's just not going to be like that. So I'm rocking my Packers tee. Thursday night football was great, facing off with the Bears. That's always a good matchup when you have that rivalry action going on. So I loved it. And it was a great win. Wasn't a beautiful win for the Packers, but it was a great win. And I love the looks that I'm seeing coming from the Bears. And that's good to say after such many abysmal seasons, you know what I mean? And that's no shade that I'm throwing. But anyway, I have some burritos here. It's going to be like a mini mukbang as we get through this sports stuff. So this is like a little relaxed chat with sports and everything like that. So my burritos and my chips. And I also have the silver edition of Red Bull. This is so good. This energy drink is just, oh, so good. If you don't like chewing, smacking sounds, I don't know, this might not be for you because I'm going to be going in. And then, of course, I love my bubble gum. I like my little snacks from time and time again. But I do eat some pretty good snacks. This right here is Harvest Snaps Snap Pea Crisp Wasabi Ranch. They are so good. So if you like that little heat thing going on. And the calories on this is 200. I mean, waha. There's a lot of calories in there. But anyway, it's a cute little snack. So let's get into what's happening around the league here. And we're going to start off with college sports. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I do sports broadcasting for South Carolina State University Bulldogs, and I also do HBCU broadcasting, and I also do my commentary POV for the NFL, and I do other sports commentary for other sports. So, let's just get into this. With South Carolina State, they have won their second game of the season, which really looks good for them, you know, striking while it's hot. Last week, they won over Warford. Okay, that was a really, really good game. And they won their game on yesterday, 34-0. The Bulldogs have dominated. And that's pretty good.
That was amazing.
Very good.
Oh my gosh,
So they'll be facing off this coming weekend with South Florida. And that's going to be in my city, Tampa. So that's going to be pretty amazing right there. So we wish the Bulldogs well on that. That game is going to be in Florida, in Tampa, at 6 p.m. Then you got South Carolina State. After that game, they will be on the road again. They'll be facing off with Delaware State at 7 p.m. So we want to give love to South Carolina State for that win. And I want to go just a little bit more in depth here for that game on yesterday. Got some really good news here. So I want to show love to the players. They had like 4 players that did the touchdowns. And also to defeat this Division 2 Lane 34-0. They added like 2 field goals to this game, and that's what rounded it out to 34-0. So I want to show love to Datron James. He had like a 5-yard run. And then Quincy Hill, he had like a 12-yard run. And then LeBron Morris, he had like a 2-yard run. And then on offense, the scoring was Jonell Brown. And there was a fumble action going on. I don't have the full stats because I wasn't sportcasting at that game. I had, some other things to do, so I wasn't going to be there. And I definitely want to shout out the South Carolina State Athletic Department for letting me know that they missed me, and I missed you all. And I'm just so glad that the Bulldogs did win. So with that fumble, went straight into that end zone, and there was a touchdown. And I just thought that that was pretty good. Had some sacks going on there, and good amount of singular tackles I should say. So that's pretty good. Datron James, he was the leading rusher. He had like 79 yards, and then Mars to add to that component 68, and then there was Corey Fields, and he completed about 9-10 passes of 21 passes, and he had like 172 yards, and there was no other big defeating there. So I thought that was pretty good. So with those 2 wins for South Carolina State, I know they are looking optimistically with Florida's game coming up. All right, so we're going to go on into the HBCU, and we're going to see what's happening with them and what was the final scores. So here's the scoreboard, and we're going to start off with Johnson C. Smith, where I am an alumni. They went down to Wingate 42, and Johnson C. Smith were 6. And then you had Lincoln, PA faced off with Lock Haven, and that was 57-13. Haven would take that one. And then you had Lincoln MO with Washburn, and that was 27-49. Washburn would take that win. And then you had West Virginia State facing off with Frostburg State 2017, so West Virginia State will take that win. Southern faced off with Memphis, and that score was 24-55. Memphis would dominate that one. And then Bowie State and American International, that was 34-20. So Bowie State would have that win. Quincy faced off with Central State. That was 38-8, with Quincy taking the win. And then Kentucky State faced off with Robert Morris. The final score on that was 13-7, and that would be a Kentucky State win. Chowan and Virginia Wise faced off. That was 22-40, and Wise would take that for the win. And then you had Howard University facing off with Youngstown State, and Howard would go down. Youngstown State, that would be 54-28. Grambling State would face off with Louisiana Tech, and that was 14-28. Louisiana Tech would win that. And then McPherson and Langston, that was just a one-point win, but a win is a win is a win, and that would go to Langston. Then again, Lane faced off with South Carolina State Bulldogs. The Bulldogs would take the win on that one, 34-0. Dominated, obliterated. That's what we say right here when you get a blowout for the Scope Report. Obliterated. Then you have Tuskegee facing off with Alabama State, and that would be 31-38. Alabama would take that one. And then Mississippi College would face off with Alcorn, 45-7. Texas Southern and Incarnate Word, the Word would face off and win that one. That was 63-44. Then Miss Valley State would face off with Lamar. That went into final overtime, that game. So it was 20-23. Lamar would take the win over Miss Valley State. Then Tennessee State, my cousin went to Tennessee State, Cedric Davis, and he also played for the Miami Dolphins, and then he also played for the Cardinals. So that's his college alma mater, 26-45. But Middle Tennessee would take that win. And then you had Jackson State facing off with South Alabama, 37-14. South Alabama would take that one. And then Virginia Lynchburg face off with Davidson, 45-7. Davidson would win that in the final. And then North Carolina A&T Aggies, and my friends and everybody who sells Aggies pride right there, they faced off with Duke, and Duke is making some noise right now 45-13, Duke would take that over the Aggies. And then Miles and Fort Valley State faced off. That was 38-17. And Miles would win that one. And then you have Virginia Union and Hampton. Hampton would go down. And that's a really good rivalry right there. And they would go down to Norfolk 44-21. Virginia State and Norfolk. Yeah, got that. Okay. Let me go back up here. Virginia Union and Hampton, they faced off, and Virginia Union would take that one 36-17. St. Augustine would face off with Lenore-Rhine, and Lenore-Rhine would take that one 68-7. Again, Virginia State, Norfolk State, that is 21-44, and Norfolk State would take that one. North Carolina Central faced it off with Towson. Towson would take that in domination, and that would be 42-3. Arkansas Pine Bluff faced off with Alabama A&M 52-34. Arkansas Pine Bluff would take that win. And then you had Shaw taking on Campbell. Campbell would win 38-14. Prairie A&M and Houston would face off 37-17, and Houston would take that win. Then you had Valdosta State and Albany State. They faced off together, but Valdosta would take that one 38-3. Livingstone and Clark Atlanta faced off. That would be 24-13 with the win for Livingstone. And then Morehouse would face off with Edward Waters, and that would be 26-20. Morehouse wins. Benedict faced off with Fayetteville State. Fayetteville would take that one. That is 35-21. Winston-Salem State faced off with UNC Pembroke. Pembroke will win that one 27-21. And then you had Southeast Louisiana facing off with Bethune-Cookman. And that game was canceled. Of course, you know, we had the hurricane forecast and all of that. So that game was to be played in Daytona Beach, but it was canceled. And then also postponed was Allen University, which is my parents' alma mater. They face off with Elizabeth City State, and that game was postponed too because that game was going to be played in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And you know, the Hurricane Dorian was going to be going up the East Coast. So the final for this one, it never happened, or at least I don't have that moment of anything, would be Florida Tech face off with Savannah State at the half 7-6. So those are the scores right there for HBCU. And you can find those online if you want to just take a look at some more in-depth stats. Now, continuing on in college here. Oh my gosh, we got the birds chirping. Okay, and my birds are probably like, what's happening? My birds are like, hey, we're indoors, but what's that beautiful sound? Alright, yeah, I love the birds. Okay, so here we go with these scores here for college. And I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to give some highlights here. So I don't know if they're ready. You know how technology is. It could be so different. So I think I'm just going to kind of get out some of these and just see what's happening here. Because if they're not available on this live, then we would definitely keep it moving.
You know the deal, she bad, you know the deal, she bad, you know the deal, she bad. Look at you.